Everyone, thanks so much. Crawlface, thanks everyone. Andromeda Native, Tech Tie, T Abnormal. A couple of you have problems reaching my channel. I'm working on it. I'm sorry, there's almost nothing I can do. You guys are not blocked. Jealousy, right? But I'm going to try to find out what's going on if I can, guys. I'm really upset about it, but what do you want me to do, right? Don't worry, I am going to do something. Guess what? This is something going by the surface of the moon, which you're all used to seeing. Whoop, one's going by on the top, because I often see them in groups, 2 or 3 of them. And this is not like the winding UFO. So obviously it's something under a haze, and with the purple filter straight up, you could see the oscillating clouds, the refracting light in the atmosphere, dusts and or hazes of the surface of the moon. And for me, it's exactly what I was looking for. It was a miracle for me when I had found the first UFO. And then I continued doing the same technique, and I just continued finding more and more. And now here's the thing. I find a lot of different shapes, right? They look like whatever, I don't know, expanding UFOs. What do you want to call them? But as for characteristics, here are some important ones. We're going to see this also forward, backwards. But now hang on. What's in the circle there? The smoke seems to stay at a certain level and height, and that other object seems to descend or fizz out. And that makes sense because the object spontaneously combusted or ignited, and it caused that smoke in the atmosphere, right? Straight up, no? So we'll see that forward and backward shot a bit further down. What's this tunnel-like object, or maybe tower, that's seen along the Terminator line? Also that famous crater on the left that I think most of the community said that it looked like Oumuamua right there in the center, but you could see its shadow underneath it. So that is an object that is elevated off the surface. And again, and I'm talking on the left there, but yeah, over to the right, that object coming out, you must know what I mean. On the left, that elevated object didn't really need a circle, I hope. Greenery on the surface. No color added, Mr. Lem. I love it. No saturation. Clear, straight up proof, and it's getting a lot of, what can we say, idiots? Mad, I guess. That was Bessel you just saw. What about Bianchini crater? When I found the objects and structures and started zooming up on them, I realized there's another smaller structuring that is over top and all connected. Is it hard to see? Of course. Are the edges roundish? Of course. It's the optical illusion. At the same time, it's also being seen from Earth, right? I mean, it's a land-based telescope. I'm right here on Earth. We're not going to see every corner or jagged edge. But these UFOs are up there, and this is clear, straight-up proof where we can see them even changing angles. Life is up on there on the moon. Oh, I sound like Kirk. But yeah, seriously, life is existing up there on the moon, whether it be alien, maybe it's creatures, because we see some objects that really do look like creatures. Now, look what's going to go on here. That's an object that catches on fire, or it sublimates, changes from substance to gas. Either way, you could see a smoke, haze, or cloud that's behind the object. And now I'm going to show you some serious researching to prove that the smokes behind the UFOs are actually propelling these UFOs, and we're going to look at which way these UFOs are being propelled and be sure that the smoke is behind them, right? Aha! Now here's some proof. In the circle on the bottom, the smoke's on the left, object is going right. This one here, the smoke's on top and the object is going down. So we have the proof that there's something propelling these objects. So unless aliens use unleaded fuel or rocket propellant, I don't know. Let's see that again. It's pretty incredible. On the bottom, the smoke is behind the dark object, pushing it, propelling it. And the one on the right is propelling it downwards. So we have 2 different directional change. Well, actually not directional change. It's 2 different directions of these objects that are flying around on the moon, which proves that there's a lot of traffic there. You can see the smaller white lights, the 3 of them that are moving by there that I've often shown in different angles. Look at them. 3 lights all together moving by, and these UFOs on the surface with propellants at the back of them, which is very important to show. I showed in the last video, but I didn't explain like I did here. Listen, they have the smokes at the back of them depending on the angles they are going. Here's the forward and back I wanted to show you before. Watch this object ignite, okay? So it's a clear proof. Nothing anyone can say against it. I just saw it myself. It's a clear image shot of something catching on fire or igniting. And we're going to see it again, forward and backwards, because for me it's important. It's proving that this object is moving, and when it gets near that cloud or haze on the surface, it starts either letting off smoke deliberately, or something happens, a reaction, either from substance changing to gas. And I'm just speaking of what I'm seeing, because this is straight up what I'm seeing. There's the object moving over, and now look at the smoke over top of it. Look what keeps on moving by. It's the smoke, proof that this object, the smoke was coming from it. There's no other smoke on the surface. Well, there is lower in the background, but you see that line of smoke. Here, this looks like I don't know. I have no idea what it is. But if it's a UFO, it's expanding and contracting. And again, it's near, under, or on top of that haze on the moon. And there's a green filter there so we can see it. You want to see a UFO let off 2 lights and then go inside of a crater? There it is. Forward and backwards. There's nothing more straight up proof than just showing you the footage forward and backwards. My friends, look at it. It's going inside of the crater or that dark area. Whether it be going in the moon, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, they go into the darks and hazes. I've got one going beside Theophilus crater that I've showed you. Those of you who have followed me since the beginning, I am still thinking of Andromeda Native. I hate seeing comments where people say they can't get onto the channel. That is so uncool. Some tampering's been going on, and I'm going to get some hacker power behind me. I think that's what I'm going to need to get some people going to bat there for the channel and start cleaning things up. No screwing around with this information. We got to get this out to the whole world. The support's very good on the channel. I appreciate it. I love you all for it. And honestly, I just don't want to stop. So aside from this object going near a crater again, what are they doing near the craters? Why aren't people seeing these? Because you're not doing my technique. Bring the exposure down. It's the only way you're going to be able to do this. The only way. I'm showing this again. I guess I didn't think I had. So there's those 2 lights leaving that sort of, whatever. But look at it go in and then come out. Look at it go in. See? It gets smaller. It descends. So I'm slowing it down to show you guys in the haze that we see this light descending inside of a crater. How many times have I showed something going inside of a crater? Like 10 times. So that's proof enough to look for other objects going inside the craters. So we have sort of a confirmation. For me, it's a confirmation. It's straight up footage. Watch these flashes that appear on the Terminator's edge, beyond the Terminator's edge, on the dark side of the moon, Earth side, of course, when the moon phase is about half moon. This is a flash on the surface. Again, no smokes or hazes coming from this object. So either it's a flashing light, an explosion, I don't know, Copernicus crater, look at this way cool anomaly on the crater's edge, amongst other things around it, of course. But again, here you can see how elevated it is because it's right on the Terminator line. Showed you this one a couple of times. I'm infatuated with these objects. Dark squares. What do you think of this one? It's a dark, straight line. And they're all over, my friends, all over the bloody moon. And let me tell you that they're buried. It looks like the squares are buried. We see triangles, even circles. And some of these are dark structuring. They really are. It's not shadows. First of all, you don't see anything straight to cause a shadow like that. Unless there's a hole there and, they literally dug into the moon or something like that. You got to wonder what the heck's going on. This object flailing around in the clouds, it's a UFO leaving a smoke trail again. And one heck of a smoke trail. And it's moving on the surface. Not even too fast. Not very, not trying to hide or anything, because nobody hides when you get into the hazes on the moon. Everything's there and roaming around, and they're just going about their lives probably, if they're not creatures, of course, understanding if it's an intelligent race. What do you think of square craters or 90-degree angles? Because this one, no, we're not going to say it's square, but it definitely does have a 90-degree angle. The straight line, right? We can see those. And of course, the more you zoom in, the less straight they get. So this one is very square. And when you zoom out, it's even more square. And you could just see, surface anomalies everywhere. Like these towers or towering objects. It's like a cobra head. Over in the center where the arrow is, a definite pipe, tunnel, or structure that's going into the crater or longing over top of the crater. So you have all these setups that are built clear enough to see. Okay? And like this, I don't care how much you try to tell me that this object isn't there. It's beside Copernicus. You could see the bloody crater on the top left. It's not like I'm tampering or hiding it. It's not like I'm not giving people coordinates like a lot of the trolls say. Ghosts, biological creatures, phantoms, I don't know, other dimensional beings, maybe. Aliens are the moon, and then minding.
This is Houston. Say again, please.